Team of the season is finally here, and are you guys wanting to know what the best custom tactics to use in this team of the season run? Well, don't worry, I've got you guys covered, and I'm going to explain what type of playstyles and players you need to look for in these positions. So as you can see on my screen, this is the team what I'm currently rocking, and you can see from some of the playstyles, and we'll go into that a little bit later in this video, but there's only one formation, let's be real. This year, there's one formation, what everyone uses, their dog, their nan, their brother, their sister, whoever it is, whoever's playing FIFA, are basically all using a 4-3-2-1. From the pro levels, from the casuals, it is being rinsed apart. And the main reason why it's so good is because the attacking AI, it just has its mind of its own. It's so good compared to like a 4-4-2. It seems like in 4-4-2 and 4-2-3-1, them type of formations, the AI just doesn't give you the same compared to a 4-3-2-1. Obviously, you need certain instructions and tactics and players to make the most effective 4-3-2-1. But in general, if you're looking and you're struggling with FIFA, this is the main formation to use. So defensive style is balanced. It, once again, kind of answers itself. We don't really need to put pressure on heavy touch or press after possession loss or constant press or drop back unless it depends on the score of the game. But you always want to start on balance just to have, once again, it says it in its name, a balanced attack and defense when you're playing your game. So this is obviously going to make us not be too aggressive and actually give us full control if we want to press or if we want to sit back. And on this game, to be honest with you, it's all about just cutting off the passing lane. So defensive style balance is really good on this game. If we're obviously trying to pull up the game, if we're only like 1 or 2 goals, I usually try and like go press after possession loss, and then I might change up the width and depth to make my team a little bit wider. And then if obviously I need to score like 2-3 goals, and depending on the minute, I might go constant press. But obviously balance. And then defensive width is 35. Honestly, this can be anywhere as long as it's probably between like 35 to 45. And the reason I recommend on the lower end compared to the higher end is actually because, once again, everyone's using 4-3-2-1. Their play style and their plan is to go wing, cut it back to the edge, or cut it inside and try and find the passes to their strikers. If we have our 35 width or a low width, our team's super compact, and we kind of accept that they've got wing, but once they try and find that play from wing in, we're there compact and ready to defend. So that's why we've got a defensive width on 35. Our depth is 67. I've messed around with this a little bit over the last few weeks. I've kind of been going from like 57 to 67, and then also tried even the 71 for the auto offside traps. Auto offside traps are pretty good if you have like some fast defenders, but I'm still using like Gold, Van Dijk and Blanc, and to be honest with you, they're probably a bit outdated at this point. Van Dijk's fine, but Blanc and Van Dijk's just a little bit too slow, so I've gone for a little bit lower. I'm going to be using offside traps myself on the D-pad, and I've gone for a 67 depth, just as I said. Keep my team fairly high because I want to squeeze when I lose the ball. I want to be aggressive, but then once I'm defending after the press, I'm kind of trying to set up in a lower kind of ish block, but also just trying to cut off the pass. And this is kind of my way of defending on this game, and what I preach to all my students when I do my coaching sessions. Build up play, we've obviously got balanced, slow build up, fast build up, and long ball. Once again, same thing with the defensive style. We want to just have a balanced play style. We want to just keep things like we can decide our tempo, what we want to go. If we use slow build up or fast build up or long ball and fast build up are basically the same thing, to be honest with you. They just make your players go way more aggressive in the runs. Really good if obviously we're trying to score some goals and trying to pull the game back. But actually, if we're doing it from minute 1, we want to be on balance, just be basic, keep it simple. And then obviously slow build up. I wouldn't even use this if I'm trying to hold out a game. I think just because the lack of the movement from the AI on slow build up, you do still need, when you're getting pressed, is some players running in behind. So balance is basically perfect if you're trying to hold out the game, or you just want to, as I said, keep it standard throughout the game. And then if you were trying to score some goals, it'd probably be like a long ball or fast build up, depending which one you prefer. As I said, they're basically the same. Chance creation, we've got direct passing. This came in last year and it's been rinsed ever since. A lot of people might still be on balance, but I don't think so at this point. Direct passing, once again, it is kind of, It's similar to balance in the sense of like it is a locked defeat, but direct passing you just get a little bit more movement from your team in the attacking end. So it's super good, to be honest with you. And then obviously I said you got like possession, forward runs. That is the other options. Forward runs pretty good if you're trying to do a constant press. I actually really like it if you struggle with actually triggering some players. Forward runs is actually quite fun. But I always recommend just pressing L1 if you actually want to trigger a player, or even using getting behind instructions on your attackers. Possession, chance creation, once again, I think the attacking AI and like build-up AI is too slow, it's too stagnant, so actually having like a balanced or direct passing is a lot better. If it, as I said, you want to have that like good balance but also being way more attacking, direct passing is good. If you're trying to hold out a game, don't think of many people actually do this, but I actually recommend going to balance. I think it's actually quite good. They don't give you constant runs in behind, but sometimes they go behind, sometimes, but it's more so feet, and it's quite nice when you're getting pressed. So definitely recommend if you feel like you're getting overloaded, maybe even changing tactic or going to balanced if you want to stay in the 4-3-2-1. The attacking width is 35. Like I mentioned, the whole plan when we're attacking is basically get down the wing, using the double overload on the wing backs, and then cutting it inside and trying to find our forwards. With 35, as you can imagine, it's making our front three really tight on the edge of the box, so it's easy from when we go from like the right back to the right centre mid to the centre mid into the left forward, right forward, whatever it may be. We have them there basically waiting for the ball just to be able to touch and shoot, which is obviously all we want to do. Really, it's just touch and shoot, keep it simple around the box. Playing the box is 6. Once again, it's one of those things I've messed around with a little bit, but not too much. But 6 is kind of the sweet spot I've got. I think 7, if you do crosses and you're playing the crossing meta, which I do, it's a little bit too much. The left centre mid comes into the box way too much. But 6, I'm finding kind of gives me a nicer balance. They do still go into the box, but not as much. And 5, I didn't feel like when I did cut it back instead of doing the crossing, I felt like my left centre mid was a little bit too stagnant and a little bit like too deep for where I actually wanted her to be. And then corners, we've got 2 and 2. Corners, you can have whatever you want. If you have a corner tactic, I'm going to be posting a shorts corner tactic on my channel, so keep an eye on that if you are wanting one. There's a near post one, and I'll be dropping more tutorials as well when it comes to shorts. And then obviously, I said, instructions, play styles is probably going to be coming next. And before we get into that, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get back on the grind, being more consistent with it all. But yeah, let's get into the instructions and tactics. So first things first, come for crosses and sweeper keeper. With the keeper, pretty standard. People like to use it over the tops through ball. So having them on sweeper keeper is going to be there, ready and fast. Come for crosses as well. Mentioned the crossing meta is super OP at the moment, especially if you've got somebody with aerial. So having come for crosses gives you that option defensively to be able to collect the ball instead of allowing the teams go forward. So let's talk about the right back and left back and kind of a bit into the play styles. First things first, you kind of want your most attacking wing back to be on balance. And you'll see it in my team, I've got Davis and Cafu, and you're probably thinking Davis is better going forward, 100%. But Davis, if we look at his play styles here, real quick, he has whipped cross. And as I mentioned, I like to use the crossing meta. I like to play L1 squares into the box. If you're trying to play this crossing meta with whipped cross, you don't get the animation you're looking to do. And what you want, it actually gives you, as you can imagine, with having somebody with whipped cross, it gives you always a whipped animation. Compared to if I'm doing my cross with Cafu, it's a more looping animation. And when I've got Saul off or the back post, it's like guaranteed wins every single time at the right back spot. So if you're struggling with the crossing meta and you're wanting to learn it, make sure your wing backs haven't got whipped cross plus. It's okay on the silver version, but the gold version eliminates it. But so yes, on the right back we have overlap and him being on balance. So as you can imagine, that's the side I'm going to be creating the constant overload in the attack. Left back we've got stay back while attacking and overlap. Centre backs, stay back while attacking and basic. My favourite play styles on the centre backs is, to be honest with you, it's anticipate. I think it's the best one. If you like, not even if you like, you should always be pressing tackle when you actually want to tackle. This game actually kind of rewards it if you have somebody with anticipate. If you don't, it kind of still gives you that 50-50 animation and it's not very nice. So definitely recommend having anticipate on your centre backs if you can. But to be honest, like all the defensive play styles, apart from maybe slide tackle, because I don't really think slide tackles are that good to do, are actually worth putting, are worth using. Like the anticipate, intercept. They're all really good to use as aerial as well. Really good. On our right centre mid though, we're looking to use stay back while attacking and cover centre. And on our centre mid, we're using stay back while attacking and cover centre, and then cover wing and balance on our left centre mid. So what you want basically within your team, my centre mid is basically a quarterback in American football, is the person who's going to be playing the long balls from side to side. And to make this even better, you need the long ball plus. And if you've seen Tex play in the FC Pro Open, you would have known how good the long ball plus is. Basically always finding that centre mid spot, L1 triangle and out to either side. You're constantly basically through, especially if you trigger your wing backs in your attack. He's super effective long ball in that position. Right centre mid is just stay back while attacking, cover centre. This is kind of like a box to box type player. Somebody who's good at attacking and somebody who's good at defending. Is usually what you're looking to put in this position. Can have any play style really what you want in this. Driven pass is quite nice, so especially as I mentioned, go from the right back into the right centre mid and then trying to find a pass into the attackers. Driven pass is quite nice in that spot. Left centre mid, as I mentioned, he's going to be the more attacking player. This is the person who you want when you do go forward. He's going to be running into the box and giving you another option. I'm using Alwine here. He's got finesse plus. It's actually the main play style I love. On this left centre mid spot, I find like he's constantly in finesse positions, and his right foot was surprisingly good. I didn't actually think it was going to be that good, so I was originally playing him on the right, but I didn't like it, so I put it on the left, and he's constantly hitting finesses every day with me, even on the right foot, and I feel like you're going to get that finesse spot every single time with your left centre mid. But then the next and most important instruction is come back on defense on your Mbappe. Now this creates with the cover centre and the cover the wings, it creates that 4-4-2 in our team to makes our team defend in the 4-4-2 instead of defending the 4-3-2-1. We know how important like switching the ball is basically on this game, so having our team defending the 4-4-2 obviously gives us a bit more support on the wing, and we can go out there and defend the wing backs and create a double up basically within our team. My striker, I've got stay central. I should also mention I don't use stay central on my support runs on the right forward, and the main reason is that when I do switch out to my right back, I want my Mbappe to give me an option out wide or sometimes inside. So then I can basically, and I say this to like my clients, it's like my right back and right forward are basically best mates at all times. Like I'm always trying to find like right back into right forward, trigger the right back to run, and either play for it or bait my right back. And that is the plan, what I kind of try and do all the time regarding that. So that's why he's not got any of these like attacking runs, target player or anything like that. Just basic, just come back on defense. Strikers on stay central, as you can imagine. We're trying to find like the right back into the centre mids. I just want that striker to stay central, ready for the passes, just being able to touch and shoot, reverse elastico, scoop turns, whatever you want to do with that striker. And then left forward, I've got on balance and getting behind. Originally, I was using stay central on the left forward, but I've started to notice like you still want to build up on your left, even though you've got the right side on balance. You can still trigger your left back and attack down the left, and you need that like extra support on the wing sometimes when you're on the left back. You can kind of just easy find Saul off as an option. And super important regarding play styles in the attack, if you are looking to do the crossing meta, obviously aerial plus, and if they're 6'5", you can imagine me crossing that back post. You can see he's got 37 goals, 34 assists from playing left forward. Basically me just constantly putting that ball in the air and playing for the knockdowns from that position. So if you're trying to play the crossing meta, as you see on my team, my right back's on the balance, so I'm going to be using the person with aerial, who I'm trying to play the knockdown stuff to, is my left forward. And then the other strikers on the right, like the right forward and striker, to be honest with you, you can just use any like dribbling or shooting like play styles. They're all good. Finesse is obviously just ridiculously good inside and outside the box. And some of like the play styles with like the rocket, the quick step and rapid are really nice on the right forward spot. But yeah, that is how I play the 4-3-2-1, the play styles I'm looking to use. And hopefully this can help you guys get some wins this team this season, and hopefully you can get yourself a 20-0.